You may rejoice, I must mourn. The 4th of July is yours, not mine. The words of Frederick Douglass in 1852 in Rochester, New York.
When you talk about freedom in America, more often people point to President Abraham Lincoln's signature of the Emancipation Proclamation, issued January 1st, 1863. But it wasn't until 2 years later when the news got to all the states. Freeing the last slaves in Texas, June 19th, 1865. This past Friday made 150 years since, and it's celebrated as Juneteenth.
On the 4th of July, 1776, our ancestors were slaves. George Washington owned over 300 slaves. Thomas Jefferson owned over 200 slaves. It wasn't until 200 years after the country's first Independence Day celebration from Britain that a Union general issued General Order Number 3 in Galveston, Texas.
Reverend Dr. Ron Myers is the national chairman of the Juneteenth National Holiday Campaign. This weekend, he was in Jackson's Tougaloo community celebrating. Since 1994, he's been lobbying lawmakers for a national Juneteenth observance day. And as of this past Wednesday, he's closer now than ever.
The United States Senate unanimously passed legislation this week. Tea Party, Democratic Party, Republican Party, Independents, all in total agreement and have established the 19th of June as Juneteenth Independence Day in America. We have similar legislation going through the United States House of Representatives. So America has 2 Independence Days, the 19th of June, Juneteenth, the 4th of July, which is the country's Independence Day from Britain. So that's what Juneteenth is. It's America's second Independence Day.
Now the measure has to pass the U.S. House, but Dr. Meyer says at least 43 states recognize it at a state level. Decades of work now accounted for.
We've come a long way in terms of the abolition of slavery. However, we still have the constant struggle of freeing our minds, especially as African Americans. See, the problem is we don't understand where we came from. The root of racism in America is slavery. The civil rights movement does not deal with the root of the problem. It deals with the results of the problem of enslavement.
Still, 150 years later, Black Americans recognize the fight of yesteryear for freedom, which still begs the question in the United States, are all men really created equal? In Jackson's Tougaloo community, I'm Eric Walker, JSU-TV.